Oh my God, it worked.
Are you sure?
Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen,
What's
we are
going on?
finally back.
We're back, baby.
Finally back. Listen, it has taken a while.
It's been a
Sorry
little
about
bit.
the delays. Had
I
some
mean,
technical difficulties with a laptop going from here to Charlotte, to Kentucky, to this place and that place. Took forever, but we
it's
back.
all good.
We were gonna
You
start
wasn't the only one.
about 30 minutes ago, but we had some more technical difficulties. OBS decided to be a little stupid, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I was out of town
Listen,
as well. I was on a work trip for like 2.5 weeks.
yeah,
That
yeah, you were like
yes, we were
frozen
all.
basically.
Hey, we don't get paid for this. We do it because it's fun. We don't get
Yeah,
paid for
for
this.
sure.
Maybe one
Listen,
day.
this is episode 8. We're gonna be covering a lot. We got to cover men's basketball. It's a little upsetting, but we got some exciting news. Women's basketball, always exciting. Girls softball team, a
That's
highlight
exciting.
of Gamecock athletics right now. Baseball, there's some upside. We're gonna get into definitely into the Clemson series that we missed while we were out, but some upside to the rest of the season. What else am I missing? Oh, we're gonna talk a little bit about football for sure. But yeah, got a few things we're gonna cover. Um, I'm not even gonna run the intro tonight. We're just gonna hop right in. Listen, Gamecock baseball. Let's just talk about it off rip. We are 15-3 heading into SEC play this upcoming weekend against Oklahoma. Um, the only 3 games we lost, of course, was the Palmetto series against Clemson. We
Oh,
lost all 3 games. We lost all 3 games, and we were home for 2 of them. Um, I have a few stats here with me. We struck out 36 times to Clemson's 37. Pitching kept us in the games. We were there. We had opportunities. There were multiple times where we had runners on. I remember vividly one of them being runners on, bases loaded, no outs. We didn't even scratch across a run at all.
no, there was several times during the series, probably over 5 times, where we had 2 to 3 guys on base, ready to bring it in, either win the game, tie the game, take the lead, and we couldn't execute. Sadly,
Nope.
so hitting's probably been the lowest point on the season thus far, and it's disappointing. But on the bright side, it's looked better over the last few games. as far as I'm concerned, anyways. The pitching, on the other hand, has been, I think, a highlight of the men's baseball.
High,
I don't
high
think
highlight.
I don't
I
think anyone
agree.
can complain about the pitching. If the pitching continues and we can start hitting in these very situational moments or just critical moments, get guys on base, keep them on base, and bring it in.
Right.
Also, we haven't talked about it yet. The infield play
It's
has
gross.
just been just as
Gross.
nasty as the pitching. I know there was one highlight play from what was it, the last series. Had a nice double play from the infield, and absolutely, it was beautiful.
It just feels good to have a third baseman to actually field a ball correctly.
Yeah, it does feel
No,
nice, don't it? And,
no
and listen,
disrespect.
KJ
No
is a
disrespect.
freshman.
No disrespect to Lee Croy, but he had him playing out of position. But
It is nice. It's nice to
it's
have
refreshing to see him to
for
throw it to
freshmen and
third
KJ
base.
Scobie. It's nice to have
It
a,
was
what feels
nasty.
like a sure glove on the hot
Yeah.
corner. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah, he's been phenomenal this year.
Henry Kazmar at short has been great. A good
Mhm.
glove. I say great. He's been good. He's had some mishaps here and there. His
Yeah.
bat hasn't gotten as hot as some of us would have liked. Over the last couple games, he's had some good hits here and there. Drove in
Mhm.
some a few runs. We think his bat's getting there. Um, but one of the bigger disappointments on the season so far is Nolan Naraki, Clemson transfer. I I have it in my. I'm going to throw a graphic up. This is my prediction for what I think our starting lineup is going to be for SEC play. I really think that Jordan Carrion is going to be our starting
That
second
kid's
baseman going
nasty.
into SEC play. Huh?
I said that kid's nasty. Just watching him in
Yeah,
these
yeah, bro.
midweeks.
He is.
He's
He's
like
nice
that.
with it. Having Bo also at first base puts
Mhm.
Ethan in right. Kennedy has made some nice plays in left. His bat's been good. Again, you mentioned it, KJ feeling like a sure hand at
Yes.
third base, being a freshman, man, that's so promising. Um, and then hopefully, depending, I mean, the injury report came out tonight that as of right now, Talmadge is probable for the
Continues.
game on Friday. Um,
Was it the when he got his hand hit?
This is
yeah,
like
he's
I think
apparent
like
he's
a
been playing with a broken thumb this
yeah
entire time.
Okay.
dog. Certified
Talk
dog.
about dog. Talk about dog.
That's crazy work.
All right. Speaking of needing hot bats, we start SEC play this weekend going against Oklahoma. Our
Yeah,
starting pitchers for this weekend, we got Brandon Stone for Friday night. Saturday, we got Jake McCoy, and
big Jake
Sunday, Ryan
McCoy.
Eskew.
Man, got a
Yes,
I'm very
sir.
excited to
fireball.
watch Dylan Sunday. Dylan's going to cook Sunday, and I think
Listen,
bring it home for
Yeah,
him.
them
I'm
boys cooking.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more excited for Brandon
Brandon Stone. Yeah, me too.
and Jake to get their starts on Friday and Saturday. I feel like Brandon is gonna show that he deserves to be in this, which he's already has this season, but to be as young as he is, I feel like he is gonna kind of cement himself. Maybe not this series,
Yeah, later down the
but I
line.
think he's gonna show that
Mhm.
promise to Paul, old Paulie. I think he's gonna show some fire.
Totally.
Um,
I
I'm
he
agree
telling
with
you,
you. I
though,
haven't really felt like Matthew Becker's done as well as people thought he was gonna do.
no,
well, I mean,
I
I think a
agree.
lot of guys
I mean,
have
he's not
been
like
missing.
he hasn't done bad. Don't get me wrong, but not where people thought he was gonna be at.
Well, it's one of those things. A lot, at least on the batting side, a lot of guys have been struggling. So we're just gonna have to lock in the Oklahoma pitchers. We got Kyson Witherspoon, which is he's a junior. Got a 1.17 ERA, 23
More
IP.
more than likely a top 10 pitcher in the country.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
love
He's
that.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And 40 strikeouts. Good God.
That was nasty.
40 strikeouts. And then going into Saturday, we'll have Makai Witherspoon. Are they brothers? Anyone know?
I
Let
can look it up.
me, yeah, look that up for me, Jacob, because I
What's
haven't looked at their
what's
starting
their name?
pitchers yet.
And then Sunday we got Cam Johnson finishing it out. He has 20 strikeouts, and Mackay has 17. So Kyson and Mackay, both juniors, and going against the sophomore and Cam Johnson. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully
I'm looking it
good.
up.
Going against some newcomers in the SEC.
Yeah, yeah, we're starting them out. Same thing we did with softball, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
For anyone wondering, all 3 games will be streamed on the SEC Network Plus. So as well as so this is
Listen, I will say that during I wanted to hit on a few things in the Clemson series. We I went through and dug through some stats today. Um, Obviously watched it with my own 2 eyes, seeing that our situational hitting is what really got us beat. And in Clemson's situations, they took advantage. But when you start adding things up, we left 23 on base to Clemson's 24. With as good as their situational hitting was, it could have been a lot worse. Um, but literally in game 2, it was 2-1 going into the ninth. Petrie hit a solo bomb in the eighth to make it 2-1, and then top of the ninth they add 3 more runs. So I mean, give credit where credit was due. Clemson did their thing in this series. Since then, undefeated. Shout out Doubled Off though on X once again. I'll give him a big shout out. I mean, dude has been cooking with the content when it comes to Gamecock baseball and other
say
sports.
there's another guy who's been really doing well and hard focusing Gamecock baseball. I was trying to find his Twitter handle real quick, but he's been doing a well job, and I'm gonna give him a shout out. He's one of the reasons I've been able to keep up with it while I've been slaving. But I'll try and pull that up.
I found those two. Yeah, they're brothers. They're twins. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So if you don't get cooked by one, you're getting cooked by the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Maybe
It's kind of dope.
I'm gonna get some brothers. That's gonna be interesting to
They're
watch.
identical twins. I'm pretty sure, based off their
Sheesh.
their pictures.
Imagine like going against one pitcher one night, you just get absolutely sauced, and then the next night you're like, all right, you're like new day, new me. Then his twin walks out, and you're like, dang, I can't escape this guy.
Brother comes out, throws 12 strikeouts.
I don't know.
Also, shout out Nathan Hall, bro. He has been very, very, very
Yeah.
consistent
I
in
was
center
gonna mention
field.
him. His
He has
bat's been
been,
consistent
yeah,
too.
yeah, very, very consistent.
Let me look up his stats real quick.
Yeah, he's been very, very consistent. It's been appreciated to have a top of the lineup guy that's been doing his thing with
Yeah.
little to no mistakes.
Yeah, I think you were onto something a minute ago with Brandon Stone, by the way. I think he will be a very critical piece coming Friday night. During his matchup with Morehead State, he struck out 9 batters out of 5 innings in relief. So now's the
Hey, I'm telling you,
11-7 win over Morehead.
listen,
So I
B
really
Stone
think
like
he's
that.
going to be, yeah.
B Stone like that. He got a 1.93 ERA and 18.2 innings pitched with only 3 walks and 23 Ks. Telling you, be like that.
He like that, yeah. I looked up Nathan Hall on D1 Baseball. Right now, his batting average is 422. With a 500 on base percentage.
So hopefully he can keep that up. Right now he's
slug of 609. So, buddy,
he's tied for second in the SEC with 27 hits.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm telling you,
McCoy,
it's Mr.
third
Consistent.
in the SEC with 38
power hitter. He
strikeouts.
only has 2 home runs, but he's like having clutch hits. If anyone,
Well, I'm throwing
two homes.
that graphic back up. Like
Like
that's
that.
why I mean having him at that starting that first spot in your lineup is so beneficial, and it's also we were talking in the group chat earlier today. Having Jordan Carrion in that 9 hole, bro, it's basically like having 2 one-hole hitters back to back.
He's
It is
batting
so
333 right
beneficial.
now.
Huh?
Jordan Carrion's batting 333 right now.
Yeah, he is, like, really he was underrated coming into this, and then he's
Yeah.
proved why he should be in the lineup. Like, tremendously proved why he should be in the lineup.
All in all, though, when it comes to Gamecock baseball, though, disappointed in the Clemson series, but
I'm looking forward to SEC play for sure.
very much so. Looking forward to SEC play. I think they're going to show up, show out. Pitching's going to stay hot, and I think the batters are
Yeah.
they're going to start. They're going to figure it out. I
Yeah,
trust
I think
this
the
team.
bats, I think they'll once they probably not Friday night. Friday night will probably be a tougher game. I'm hoping it's more of a pitcher's duel, like a 2-1 type game. And I'm hoping that our situational awareness and hitting shows up and shows out, and that's where we kind of have a breakthrough game. And I'm hoping it's Friday night against one of the nation's top pitchers, and that we can. I'm hoping. I think we take 2 or 3 from Oklahoma. That's what I'm hoping for. I
That's what
think
I've
I
seen
can see
online.
us
People
taking 2 of 3.
doing the same thing.
Especially with the pitching lineup we're throwing out there. Hopefully, the lineup that I have on the screen right this minute, I'm hoping that that's kind of what the lineup looks like. Obviously, you can interchange Woida for a handful of guys, but overall, I mean, this really looks like the lineup. I was talking with Double Off earlier today. This seems to be our best lineup that we have put out on the field, 1 through 9, for the entirety of the season so far. It's been phenomenal
We
when it
got to
comes
get
to the
them on.
baseball content. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, on to the next one. But yeah, on to the next one. Shout out Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team. Bing
Come
bang.
on.
We got
Bing
another.
bong.
We got another.
3 in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah,
Bring it back to the
they thought
to the
just cause
house.
they thought just cause they lost one. They thought just cause they lost one. I mean,
Oh, they
they
thought
was
they lost
talking
a
down on
couple.
'em.
They thought they're gonna lose a couple of games. Gonna mean anything.
Nah, they bull jiving. They thought just because they lost to UCLA and I mean UConn did kind of mud stomp us, but we was having a bad day. We was having a bad day, and then
Everybody
we
has a
had a
bad day.
bad day again. I mean, everybody have a bad day every now and then. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Speaking of
Listen,
Staley,
Oh, Chloe Kidd's doing her thing now.
on me. Listen, hey, co-SEC regular season
Hey.
champs, SEC champs, and now we on the way to our 3rd title in 5 years.
we're on
3
the
in
way.
5 years.
Could have been 4.
Staley's mentioned as the Naismith Coach of the Year semifinalist as of right now, so something to look out.
I mean, listen, I don't know if y'all were like
Something-
really fully paying attention during the 2020 season, but it came across Twitter earlier today. I wanted to ask this question because I knew we
That's
were
why I
doing
was
the
talking about it. I
podcast.
saw it the other day about to talk about
Um,
women's
it
basketball.
was who do you think would have won the 2020 women's college basketball national championship? And it was listen, we did beat them at the beginning of the year in the Virgin Islands in that tournament. I do remember that.
So we definitely could have had that.
I think we would have beat them, but you gotta remember Baylor and Oregon were on the same side of the bracket. So a lot of people were saying it's gonna be Baylor, Oregon, and then a lot of people were saying they think UConn would have got upset and it would have been South Carolina versus some rando team. So I mean, it would have
That's
been
fair.
us versus. I don't know.
Something I'm excited for that got announced this week when it comes to women's sports, women's basketball, something I think is really going to propel the sports, at least in the college athletic side of
Oh,
things,
tell me.
is the Battle of the Reels SC, South Carolina or Southern
Oh
Cal.
yeah.
I'm excited for
yeah.
that. It's going to be a
Yeah.
2-game series, one West Coast. I think the one this year or next year.
Yeah, one's next
Let me
year.
look, see if I can find the dates. So I think it starts next year. So let me see.
Drew Watkins better get them hands.
So it'll be in Los Angeles at Crypto Arena, November 15th. And then they're coming to Greenville 2026, November 15th. Battle for the Real SC
Trip to Greenville.
yeah.
Rainbow.
But between South Carolina and Southern Cal. I think that's I love a good rivalry. You know what I mean? I would love to see football to
Don't
beat
lie.
one of them Southern one of them. Jacob, see if you can adjust your mic, or not the mic itself, but you might have to lean back.
Americans.
Bro, like, bro, we the McDonald's team at this point. Like, Kim Mulkey has said it. We the All-American
Jesus, go
team.
ahead, retire. Get out of here. Just
But listen,
going back to business.
this is the other part. Is Tessa Johnson is a sophomore.
She nasty too.
Tessa is a
That's good.
sophomore. Tahina Paopao is a senior. Raven, I
She has
think, is a
I think
Raven's
Tahina
a
might have one more
junior.
year.
So
I know one of them have one more year of eligibility.
It's Raven. Raven's a junior. She's got one more year, but I think she can go if she wants to, is what people have been saying on X, I think.
I don't
And
know.
Sanaya Fagan is a senior, I believe. Sanaya like that too. And Raven.
They all
I'm
like
missing
that.
Bree Hall. I'm
Yeah.
missing Bree Hall.
Yeah.
Bree Hall like
Yeah.
that.
The whole
So
team like
Kit
that.
was
Oh,
the
Right
man.
on the line.
so the
Right? I
tournament
should have just
MVP. The tournament MVP when we beat Texas was Chloe Kit. By the way, she finished with 15 points, 9 rebounds. So
bro, she been on an
Yeah.
absolute tear in the last
Didn't
month.
she drop like a triple double a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it was like
think so.
she was like it was like 19, 12, and 11 or something like that.
But she
Or
had her putting up
19.
Jokic numbers for real. Like what the world?
That jump's
So
crazy.
not all that. It's good. I'm
Nah,
excited for
but
women's basketball. Y'all are
yeah.
doing phenomenal. Keep it up.
When do they play their next game?
Have no clue.
Like I say, we number one.
Overall, number one. Lock it in.
Yeah, we
Dang
number
that
one.
dumb.
That's all I'm saying. We number one.
Yeah, so next week it'll start.
Let's
number
get us another one.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get Tree in 5 years, and we'll try to go for number 4 next year. We're gonna try to
I'm
go back
tell-
to that next year.
Because that's the thing. That's the crazy part. Is we're not getting worse.
Oh yeah,
No.
we're not
Like-
digressing. It's just getting better.
No.
Just-
I think that's what excites me.
I think we've
with
got
the
about 2 or
women's
3
basketball
5-stars in
team
this
is
class alone.
No, like
We
if she
are-
finds her a big, like a
She going
Only a
to.
Paulson or Camila Cardozo.
yeah,
it's gonna be
if she
nasty.
finds her another big, bro, it's raps. Like they better not let her get no big. I'm telling you, they
Don't
better
let
not
me
let her
tell you,
get a big.
Don't let her get nobody that can work the paint, or the whole league's cooked.
Because it's
Wow.
Jova. It is over.
As long as we can prevent the same mistakes that we made during the UConn game, the
Yeah.
first Texas game. Which the thing about Dawn is she showed she don't make the same mistake twice. This team don't make the same mistake twice.
Right.
There's a reason we just stomped Texas in the SEC championship. So it's either during that game Texas broke and they crippled under the pressure, which is possible. That's how sports are. Sometimes that happens.
No,
Or
Dawn
it's just the
got that aura.
fact. Dawn also, yeah.
Dawn just got that
So-
aura.
As long
Yeah, I'm looking
as
at
long as the team.
the top recruits for women's basketball right now. South Carolina's in the running for the number 1 player in the country.
Yeah.
Of course,
5'9" point guard Aaliyah.
play into the standard. You're gonna learn.
That was Malaysia. That
Was
was
it?
Malaysia. hmm
That was Malaysia.
And then
Yeah.
when she came back, she dropped like 27 points the next game.
Literally.
Yeah,
It was some
So
stupid.
yeah. You're not gonna play unless you're at Dawn's standard, or
I mean, and
unless
that's
you're
the thing.
practicing to her standard, and that's
But
why
women's
they're as successful as
basketball-
they are.
Right. Women's basketball is trying to reach Dawn's standard. That's why we have won the natties that we've won, the SEC championships that we won, why people
Mhm.
want to come to South Carolina and play for her. It's because of her standard. They know if they come to South Carolina, they're going to win.
Football, take some notes. We need y'all this year. We excited. You have our hopes up. I'm kind of scared, but we gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, speaking
All
of
right.
winning, they did not do a lot of that this year, but they showed some heart. Men's basketball, we love you.
We love
We
you, man.
appreciate all your hard work. Y'all,
All the
y'all
guys that played this year.
listen,
If
y'all.
they could just made a couple more layups, made
It's
some more
not-
free throws.
It's not even that. If we could have made 10% more of our free throws and made 20% less turnovers, we win 10
6
more
more ball
games.
games, 8 more ball
I
games. We're
don't-
in the tournament. We're literally a
I mean,
tournament
you
team.
gotta remember, this has been probably the best SEC in 10 years. And given I'm
Yeah.
not like well endowed in the basketball world, I'm not gonna act like I am. But this is the SEC this year. All I've heard is they're the best, and they've proven they're the best. Go for
Yeah.
Auburn is a murder house. Alabama, a murder house. Tennessee, a murder house. And they've all it's been is just beating up on each other all stinking year between. Did y'all see that Auburn Alabama game?
Yes. It was
I,
insane.
I
Bro,
need
Yeah.
a rematch. I
I
need it.
watched it. I had Mark Sears
my
on a
God.
parlay, and Buddy got like 9 points and cooked me.
Oh, dude,
Mark
I-
Sears, he still won them the
We
game.
got the game winner, but I needed like 20 points. Bro got 9. I was like,
Hey, bro, lace that mug.
no, but if I'm not mistaken, I gotta check, but
that's funny.
they're on different. Auburn and Alabama's on different brackets this year.
That would be nasty, bro.
That rematch is gonna be. I'm hoping for the rematch. And
They're
I'm
both-
even,
Yo,
I
I'm
know
licking my
Auburn's
chops
probably
over
gonna
here.
be
as
Auburn's probably a
sport-
1 seed.
I'm about
as
to
a
throw the
sports
ribs on the grill. I'm
fan-
ready.
Hey,
as
that
just
was
a
dinner
sports
tonight.
fan, it's gonna be good. So, but when it comes to men's basketball, though, all up to the guys this year.
Yo.
I'm not gonna dog on you. The season's over.
Not
I
at
guess
all.
we got
Listen.
NIT now, but
we somehow made the NIT being under 500.
Crazy. Yo, thank you,
So,
and
hey,
we hate you, Texas A&M, for extending our season, but thank you for extending our season. Horns down.
even though
Hey,
Texas won, horns down.
If
Appreciate it,
college-
gang.
if college football continues to expand, though, I would love an NIT. Just turn these stupid bowl games that no one cares about anymore into NIT
You know,
games.
NIT tournament.
Somebody.
Like playoff goes to like something stupid like 24 teams, which I'm not a fan of. And had reached this level last year.
I think Collins
Oh.
might low key come
You got-
back.
Listen,
Collins right now is looking like a late lottery pick.
there's a handful of people on X that are bigger basketball fans than what I am that are very, very, very in tune with things. And they are more convinced that the fan base thinks that he's gone than what they are.
Interesting.
Yeah,
think
they are
he's
more on
gone?
the lines of 50-50. He may come back, he may not. Because, I mean, he's just a junior. If he wants to play another year, feels like he could develop a little better where he could go way higher than what he's projected right now, he could.
Because right now he's sitting, I think, around like 15th overall.
Yeah.
Imagine he
Which
comes back, wins
I
SEC
think
Player of
next
the
year
Year,
is
and
going to be a lot of a weaker of a class because there's not going to be a Cooper Flag, not a Janai
People-
Broom.
Well, the
It's-
thing is, people are going to still show up. People are going to show up
well,
next year.
obviously,
People,
yeah. It's,
I mean,
like
they
new
are,
stars are
but
going to be built. That's how it works. Like,
they
but I
are.
get what you're saying as well.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
ready to see
imagine
Eli
he
Ellis.
comes back.
Either way,
Imagine
I'm
he
not going
comes
to be mad
back.
at him either way.
We
He's-
get
he
Eli
did-
Ellis on the court.
that
You
meant
get
Eli
Cam
Ellis is a
Scott on
dog.
the court.
Cam Scott's a
You-
dog.
If you have CMB back and he's on the court, and bro, like
It's gonna be
Just imagine CMB rushing in, kicking it out to Eli for automatic. Because that meant Eli's automatic from 3.
by
I
the
was
way, I was
watching
watching from OT.
from OT.
cool.
And then before that was Amin and Asar Thompson, the twins.
Yep.
That played with Eli on the City Reapers. They went like
So
5th and 6th pick. something like that.
OTE produces, I promise. Like they produce, and if you are out there outdoing,
Not
the
even
rest of
going
these
to
dudes-
college, going straight to the league.
yeah, a lot of these OTE cats are going straight to the league. They ain't even touching college.
Let me look up some of their
Nice.
stats from the league.
So I mean, I think it's smarter for some of them to go to college and develop
Yeah.
even more before going
Yes, I
to the
agree.
NBA. Because some of these dudes are just going to go to the NBA. They'll probably end up in the G League. They'll get playing time. They'll develop even more and then make it to the league.
Mhm.
Or, you know,
Yeah,
go
just for
college.
an example, Amin Thompson, he got drafted by the Rockets. This is his second year in the NBA, and he's averaging 14 points a game in the league. Not even college.
Yeah, I mean,
So
OTE product.
OTE produces.
That's good.
OTE product.
He's smaller. He's
Hey.
6'1", but he got
Hey,
that
but
flame
for
kick
real,
on him.
For real though, Lamont.
He's
need
cooking.
I know. I need to see progress next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
we will.
also with Eli, his teammate
progress.
on his team, Hayden Simeon,
Because
he's
I'm not.
like that.
I ain't gonna sit here and act like we didn't just lose almost every game in the
Oh,
SEC.
yeah, man.
Well,
Lamont?
I
I
will
ain't gonna
say that our NIL last year compared to this upcoming year is completely different.
which is good.
Yes, we're
world
gonna have
of
a
difference.
lot better of.
Oh, we could have been and
We
Nathan.
didn't,
I
we
mean,
didn't have to
I'm begging you.
put that BTA to Coach Calipari like we normally did. Other than today, today was like their first loss.
I know. All right, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. This is
yo,
enough.
the big
Yeah.
one.
The big one. Outside of women's
Shout out to
basketball,
South
this is-
Carolina girls softball team. Yo, they are 20-4.
Hey man, come
20-4.
on.
Listen, now granted,
Come
this
on.
is the thing though.
Hey, they
We were
cooking.
19-0 going into SEC play. We had 12 run rules in our first 19 games. 12 run rules. We go up to Durham,
It's so
North Carolina,
disgusting.
and we sweep then number 9, the Duke Blue Devils, in a clean sweep, 3-0 fashion. No problem. Okay. Play, a little midweek bull jive, win that, no problem. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that was a run rule. Then we
Everything's
go
good.
then we go to Oklahoma. We go to Norman. Friday night. Lights on. Pressure's on. Defending national champion
Back to back to back to
Hey.
back.
to back, what feels like to back to back to back. You are playing in their home stadium, and our girls walked in there and gave them a fist fight. Next closest Gamecock has like 3.
Hey, a
Maybe
real talk
maybe
though,
4.
starting tomorrow, first SEC game of the year, Georgia. The series begins 14th through the 16th. Lock
Bulldogs,
in.
y'all on the clock. Y'all on the clock.
They on the
You
clock.
better get ready.
It always
Yo, matter of
feels-
fact, Sooners, y'all on the clock too. Baseball. Yeah.
Hey.
We got Sooners and Bulldogs on the clock. Yeah.
we gonna tear Georgia up this weekend.
I
I can.
hope so.
You know how nice it is to confidently say you're gonna whip Georgia in something. I'm not even. I ain't go. We like that. I'm not even
Nah, that team
scared to
is like
say
that.
Hey, Coach Ashley Chastain has completely turned that softball program
Well,
around.
you know she came from Charlotte, and like over half our players are from Charlotte.
The thing is,
I ain't football, baby.
I ain't gonna act like some expert
Come
in
on.
women's softball.
Oh, that's the
All
first
right.
time I've ever watched. Was last week against Oklahoma.
I'm
I
not
ain't ashamed
gonna
to
act
say
like
that.
I'm not gonna act like some expert. All right, call me a sexist, whatever. It is what it is. I'm getting into it though. The new head ball coach has really shined a massive stinking light on their program.
Oh yeah.
This is how you get eyes on. Like, 'cause I'm a football guy first. That's football, then NHL, blah blah blah. List goes down.
You
But
want to know how
this is
crazy
you
the
get
change is?
spotlight. You win.
The craziest change that I've already witnessed is we were, I don't know, 4-0, 5 in and zooming out.
Hey, you know,
They showing different parts of the field.
hey, you know whose that is? The new AD. The new AD
Shout-
turned that mug on.
Shout out
He
Jeremiah.
said, "We fixing this, Jeremiah." That's
Shout
no,
out
but I'm being for
shout
real
out
though.
Jeremiah.
More than likely, you saw that junk, and he was like, "This is embarrassing. We're the
It's-
number 9 team in the country."
It's
You know, he
unacceptable.
probably ripped somebody for real.
It's unacceptable. Probably fire somebody to be real.
My thing is, women like softball in general, softball and volleyball, like this women's NBA glaze. Like, stop with the women's NBA. Unless you lower the goalpost a little bit, we need a professional softball league.
I agree
Professional softball,
with the softball part.
professional volleyball. So what was it for volleyball? Women's sports. This is getting way off topic, but it's fine. Women's sports. It was Nebraska a few years ago filled out their entire football stadium for women's volleyball.
Mhm.
These are the sports that I think could excel in a bigger market if they're actually given a spotlight for women's
agree.
sports. Like, women's softball goes insane, but the thing is, it doesn't get any spotlight, and it's It shouldn't be like that way. I don't think so. So, shout out the women's softball team. Keep cooking. Keep the college football. That's our beans and toast. But when it's the off season, Braves will be on the TV, and we're going to highlight everything else. So
For sure.
lock in.
Speaking of
We got to-
football, to
Hey,
round out
clip
the
that.
episode,
Hey, clip that. Clip that.
yo, Jacob, you on that? Clip it.
Clip that.
Yeah, no, to round it out though. I mean,
Let's just talk some football. We ain't
yeah,
got nothing crazy, nothing
eh,
too specific. Just some stuff we saw. We're just gonna have conversation
yeah.
about. Pull up stats as we go along, as we do. What's the
So,
first thing on our?
what's your expectation, y'all's expectation for this spring? What do y'all want to see out of the team?
So I mean, we
What do you
don't.
want to hear?
I wish we got to see a little more out of camp, but I really want to see the defense and those new guys develop. You know what I
Yep.
mean? For me, that's going to be. We had a historical defense. Who was it? E-Man that said that last
Yeah,
preseason.
yeah.
I don't want to see that fall off. I'm not saying I don't think. I'm gonna be honest. You can call me a hater. I don't think we'll hit the same rate as the defense did last year. The defense is why we won 9 games. Oh, given the offense did their part. Don't get me mistaken. I remember that Mizzou game, but the
Right.
defense also won us several games in ODU, for example. So I think there's going to be a little drop off. We're losing way too much talent for there not to be a drop off. But I want them to stay. If they do, not too much.
Offense to have a little bit more cohesion. Obviously, we added some pieces, interior linemen, um, uh, Faison in the backfield. Um, I really want to see us look like a cohesive unit on offense. Um, I want to see a mix of run game, run pass option, using motions to confuse defenses, using motions to our advantage. But I
In
also
that
want to
same
see
angle, I really want to. I want to see a South Carolina team not scared to take shots down the field.
read.
I felt for the last 5+ years, it came from the Satterfield era where it was just screen pass after screen pass. There's been a long time coming now. We got weapons at the wide receiver room.
Well, and it's not
Everyone
even
keeps
that.
saying,
If your wide receivers, if you already know that perimeter blocking is a problem and you're working on it in practice every week, screen passes and dump passes to your running back, that shouldn't be even in your mind to put in the playbook for the week.
yeah,
It
yeah.
it might look good in practice because you're playing against your team.
Yeah.
But when you get against other people in real game, real life instances and experience, brother, I hate to be that person, but they gonna forget. They're not gonna hit the block like they're not gonna hit the block like they supposed to. And then we saw, by the way, who is not focusing on track during the off season. He is solely focusing on football, which is a huge plus.
Yeah.
I expect to see some growth out of him. I expect to see some huge growth out of his hands to be able to go up and high point and catch the ball, to catch the ball in traffic a little bit better.
I want to see. For me, I want to see more of his growth on the route running aspect.
I was about
I
to
think
get
his
there.
hands improved a lot last year. I think you saw that,
Yeah,
for
and
example, the
yes
Alabama
and no.
game where he caught
Sure,
that sideline grab. But I'm not saying there still needs to be improvement. But I think his
sure.
biggest is route running. He needs to be able to do more than just
And
streak down the
creating
field every
separation.
play.
Creating
That's where
separation
I
is
was
a
going to
big
get to
part.
with my point for spring. The continued development with Coach Mike Furry. That was probably like one of my favorite moments of coaching wise. Seeing his development, he's a phenomenal coach.
Mazio had a amazing first year. Mazio is
Agreed.
the reason I'm excited for these new freshmen coming in. 1 to 2 of them is going to explode and be a serious problem, and it's going to open the door for a true wide receiver 1, whether that be Nicole Harbor or Mazio.
I wouldn't even be shocked to see one of those 5 freshmen jumping and
take a
say
jump.
that spot's mine.
I mean,
I
one
don't
of
care
them
who's
is
here. That
the
spot's mine.
I mean,
You know,
barring injuries, somebody's going to have to make a jump. Somebody's going to
yeah.
have to jump in. And I mean, you think about 3, 4, and 5 wide receiver sets. I mean, somebody's going to have to make a jump.
Oh yeah, absolutely agreed. That's one of the reasons though I'm not. My biggest thing is the short to mid range throws.
They're honestly
Keep
probably going to
accurate.
be gunning for him. Truthfully,
Oh, without a
they'll
doubt.
be gunning for him.
So his short to mid accuracy has to continue to improve. I think you definitely saw as the year progressed that it did, and I think that came with his comfort level. So just continuing that, you know what I mean? Continuing that progression. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think he will make that jump. You can tell the pressure doesn't get to him. So
I think he needs to work on the turnovers aspect also. He fumbled the ball.
that
a
would
lot.
be honestly that's probably a bigger deal than what I just mentioned with the short to mid range throws.
I mean, his accuracy was a problem at times, but
Well,
also at times
it wasn't even
fumbled.
just Lenore. It was a team thing. We had fumbles were a major issue, but the thing about fumbles is it's kind of like injuries, where some years it's that year where this is going to be the issue, and hopefully next year we can avoid the injury bug. We can avoid the fumbles, and I think it's going to be. I think we're going to be fine. I think Lenoris is going to take that next step. He's going to be a All SEC Player of the Year by the end of it. I don't think that's a crazy statement. I don't even think that's a hot take. But
I mean, the
Justin,
way
you
our
do not understand the DJ Lagway hype, or like where is it coming from?
no, I get the DJ Lagway hype.
yeah, I do too.
You
Because
watch-
had he
Go
not
watch
been
that Ole Miss game.
had he not been had he been 100% in the games that he started in and didn't have to
I think he
leave or
missed a game or two as well.
yeah,
Didn't he miss
had he
time?
been there, that Florida
Absolute goats coming into next year, where it's like, oh yeah, 100% he's going to be a monster. But you have
Garrett Nussmeier.
Lagway. Yeah, Garrett has logs for legs, dude.
I mean, yeah, but he can still dot you at any point in time.
I agree. So that
I
was
mean,
about to say,
if you
Nussmeier-
don't get pressure on him, he is going to shred you.
I agree. So Nussmeier was going to be on my list of QBs. So Lagway, Sellers, Nussmeier. These are some of the guys you're going to be watching as like, okay, these are the name brand guys for the year.
You're
These are
forgetting
the
Arch
name brand
Manning in
QBs.
Texas.
I don't want to think of Arch Manning at Texas. I'm avoiding talking about Arch Manning at Texas.
Yeah.
Anytime I can throw horns down, I'm gonna throw them things.
Arch is going to be a problem. He has wheels.
He's better than the other guy at Texas.
Oh yeah. Another thing on our little topic list. Dabo's clearly using NIL.
Yeah.
He went back on his statement, kind of hypocritical as far as I'm concerned. I think you need to just quit college football, bro. Go do something else. All right. You're being a hypocrite. Going back on your word. What are we doing? I'm not going to glaze you for beating us in baseball and not come back at you with another punch. Dabo, all this about I'll never use a transfer portal. It's evil. It's blah, blah, blah. This isn't what college football is about, and NIL and money. Just get out of college football. I thought you didn't like it. You're lying now. I didn't think Christianly fellows like yourself lied, but let me stop before I get sued.
From other schools. Do I like it?
Well, we're doing exactly what I think we need to be doing. We're doing exactly what I think we need to be doing. We're using the transfer portal to fill in the gaps. It's something South Carolina over the last 20 years, well, I won't say 20, but over the last 10 to 15 years hasn't been able to do. That's why
With just recruiting.
Yes, because we were getting beat by Clemson. We're getting beat by Tennessee. So on, the list continues. So, but the transfer portal has allowed us to fill in the gaps where needed and excel. And the thing is about having an amazing recruiter like Beamer and the coaches that we have under him, Sterling, Lucas, and whatnot, is they're able to take these new transfer portals and make them excel. Kyle Kennard, Knight, the list goes on. So that's why I think we're still going to be able to. That's why I still fully think we're going to be able to compete with Clemson. Just because Dabo's using NIL, I'm not worried about it. The games are still going to be close. You know what I mean? But when it comes to NIL transfer portal, it is why now South Carolina is going to be competitive in every game they play. As long as the coaching and the players themselves do what they need to do, it's
It
let us take
feels
a step forward.
it feels like we've used the portal to get us to a competitive spot in football and then continue that while also like dialing it back a hair and then refocusing on recruiting high recruit players. You see what I'm saying? Like last year we
Absolutely.
had a very good year.
To stack years. Okay, now when they go to a 4 or 5 to stack years. Okay, now when they go to a 4 or 5-star recruit, they're saying, "Hey, yo, we just had 2 back-to-back 10
The funny
10-win
part is
seasons."
they start out the year in the top 20, top
Mhm.
15, and then they stay there because they still suck.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. They start out in the top 15, top 20. They have this cupcake easy schedule. They get beat by some team they shouldn't lose to, then they lose to us. They lose to another team they shouldn't lose to. And then you got Drinkwitz talking about, yeah, I'm talking about the playoffs. Yeah, you're not making it because you're sorry, just like the other, like Ole Miss that didn't make it. No, we didn't make it, but our schedule, we shouldn't have made it. We were supposed to lose 3 ball games. Shoot, Vegas had us losing 6.
Yeah.
Hold it. With your schedule, y'all shouldn't lose 3 ball games. If Missouri loses 3 ball games this year, yo, they got the fire drink, bro. I'm just saying.
Who's playing quarterback for Missouri this year?
No.
We'll figure it out later.
They're
We're
losing
gonna
The
do
French.
Brady Cook's all they have.
we're gonna do deep dives probably on each
'Cause
of
they
these
fell
teams.
Yeah,
apart
yeah.
without Brady
We're
Cook.
gonna do in the like off season, probably during the summer more than likely. We'll probably do some deep dives on each team once all of those rosters kind of get finalized. Oh, by the way, speaking of football, scholarships for every single sport across the NCAA roster-wise is going down except for football. Football is going from 85 to 105.
It's eliminating the walk-on aspect of the
Hmm.
game.
Yeah, I
no
don't like
longer
it for it's a
there's
money
no
thing,
longer
but
gonna be
more guys that are getting paid to go to school and play ball, which
Right.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm pretty sure they're still going to allow walk-ons. They're not going to completely eradicate walk-ons. If a walk-on comes on and they're like that, they're like that, they're going to
Scholarship.
play. They're going to get one of these 20 scholarships. It just, if anything, I could see it being a situation where because now you have extra 20, more walk-ons are going to be able to have the opportunity to get scholarships, whereas
Yeah.
before it'd be less. Now I could
On
be
the other hand,
I could be completely wrong.
20
Don't get me
more
wrong.
scholarships, the teams like Alabama and Oregon might go from having 5 5-stars in the class to maybe
Not
6
so the
or
thing
7.
is, there's only no, that ain't gonna happen. There's
Give
only
me
so many.
more.
You got to remember with 5 stars in the whole star system, one that's broken. But besides that, there's only so many 5 stars. There's only so many 4 stars. You can only bring in so many of these guys. Just because you increase the scholarship amount by 20 doesn't mean these teams are going to get more 5 stars. Now, will they get more depth? Probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you have these extra 20 spots, you're going to, at that point, you're so deep in your lineup, like, really talented guys aren't going to sit at that far down the roster. You know what I mean? It's going to be developmental pieces, guys that say, I want the Alabama name, and they want to earn it. You know what I mean? Just like how it's going to be at South Carolina. So I wouldn't.
Brought up is because there were teams that people thought that should get in, i.e. South Carolina, i.e. Bama, i.e. Ole Miss, all SEC teams. I think the original thought was brought up by somebody from Bama that thought they deserved to be in even after losing and getting mud stomped by Oklahoma. Um, bro, don't lose 2+ conference games and get in. I mean, Merry Christmas.
I think they need to change the system
And
of
that
how
goes for South
I
Carolina too.
I
of
I
who's
agree.
ranking them.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
like that
like.
Michigan's athletic directors on the board of
Yeah, I don't
who's
think if you
choosing.
work for, if you're a part of
You know
the
what I'm
school's
saying?
athletic department, I don't
I
think
think
you
it needs to
should
be
be
people
on the
outside
board.
of the schools, not employed by the
Yeah.
school.
I think it should be for maybe even former I don't know what the proper board should look like, but I don't think anybody working
Not
for a
what we
current
have
school.
currently.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't.
not
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
not in
there's no way
acting.
you can tell me that certain people will have bias against other teams.
of course they do. They can't tell me
They're gonna do.
otherwise.
They're gonna do what brings them in.
Like, you can't tell
Cash.
me Ward Manuel from Michigan ain't gonna have no sort of bias against Ohio State.
Of course.
I just don't think that system works. I don't know.
My thing. So the playoff expansion portion piece. I fully agree. I think for my biggest worry is it's going to start degrading the end game
Conference
season.
championships.
Yeah, I think
Games like that,
you absolutely they
I don't
money
know if
talk, bro.
players
Money talk.
bodies could handle that going from
Yeah, no, they
that
definitely would
game
never do that many.
and then
No,
having
whole time out. I'm not talking about 64. Obviously, 64 ain't gonna work. Of course, 64 ain't gonna work. 64
Yeah.
teams in a playoff.
playing
That's
a 14
insane.
game regular
But
season and on top 6-7 more games for a playoff.
well, but yeah, of course.
That's
I'm
crazy.
talking about just you need if they're going to expand it. Yeah, I've heard 24 come out a lot. 24 has been a very common number.
I think
Like either going to
16 would be
go.
like
The
the
biggest
perfect
problem
don't
with
like-
24 teams, it takes away rivalry week for
And
every
that's
every
another
every
reason I
team.
don't like it.
It takes away one bye week per team and one non-conference game per team. So you're
I thought-
playing.
Then
It
they would
also
have to
adds a
extend.
conference game.
Then if they're going to expand it, they need to extend the season out.
I mean, they would have to.
Yeah, I remember for me before the 12 teams started, I thought the perfect number. I think it was even before they announced the 12 team when they were still debates about is it going to be 12? Is it going to be 16? Is it going to be 6? Blah blah blah. I thought the perfect number was going to be 8. That was my sweet spot. You get I'm trying to remember what the logic behind it was, but you get obviously the all 4 conference championships. Your G5 gets their free bid that they don't deserve. And then you get some other teams in there that
I think
just
G5, but now that they moved up to 12, there's no going back down from 12, so that's not even.
Oh
an
heck
argument.
no! It's a money thing. That's why it will expand. It'll either go to 14 or 16. But I think it's going to continue to grade the regular season, and it's going to remind me of the NFL, and it's going to suck. And I'm not excited for that. Given I think 12 this year, the regular season wasn't affected enough,
No.
and I really enjoyed the regular season. If
It
not,
also- it does-
actually,
it-
I would argue I enjoyed it more because now you had
Every game
teams.
mattered.
Well, every game still mattered, but now you had another 15 teams fighting for that last 2 playoff spots. Like the fact South Carolina was talking about playoffs super late in the season normally never happens, and that happened. And I thought that was the positive of the expanded college football playoff. But I don't want it to get to a point where it just shreds the regular season. You can lose 4 or 5 games, and now it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought 12 right now is perfect as long as they get the selection committee under wraps.
Well, it's the selection committee as well as the format of the actual playoff.
and the format.
The buys, the buys were an issue. Figuring out conference championships and how that plays into it, that needs to still be addressed. I think there needs to be a better distinct, or the AP poll and the college football playoff poll. They should not be the exact same poll every week.
They should just do a net rating the way they do in basketball, where they grade your wins and losses.
Agreed.
Quad 1, quad 2, quad.
Yeah.
I agree with the basketball net rating style of how they run.
Well, I don't think there should be. I don't think there should be an official preseason poll. The
I
AP
don't
poll
either.
should not come out in the preseason.
There should be nobody ranked till after week
Or-
1.
Or if anything, I think the preseason poll should just be the final poll of the previous season. That's where you start off at. Whatever you ended
Yes.
at, that's where you
That's
begin.
where you start the next season, and then a fresh poll starts after week 1.
Yes.
Or if you're not going to do a preseason ranking or any bull jive like that, nobody is ranked, not a single
Yeah.
team, until you would have to single
Yeah.
team until you would have to give a couple weeks to have data and eye tests and all that kind of stuff before you rank. I mean,
Yeah. But this is stuff that's never going to happen because there's too much money, and
Yeah.
people need content. So
Same thing about talking about the playoff committee. That's not going to change.
no,
We know
they will
that's
never
not gonna
change that.
no, but I mean, I think the picks they made this year, given if it was in a better format, could have been better. Again, this goes into why I said a minute ago, AP poll should be different than the playoff poll. Because the AP poll was trying to grade it as if they were making the playoff picks. They had guys in the top 10 only because they were making the playoff and not because of how they actually performed on the field. And I think that's an issue.
Yeah,
So the whole ranking grading system in college football needs to be,
true.
I think, last but not least, at least on some of our just topics,
ugly, that ugly
football.
college football cover.
Ugh.
Nasty.
Ugh. That thing was fire. I think cooked. D. Stewie, the first Gamecock to be on a
I love
EA
seeing these too, but that thing is disgusting.
NCAA college football 25, 26 cover.
If that is the picture, EA got to give it up, bro. They got to quit.
I'm glad I ain't buying discs no more. Everything's
Oh,
online.
that joke was cold, bro.
You like it?
Yeah. Y'all didn't like it. I know y'all were
That thing was
ugly, bro.
ugly. That had to be
What?
one of the worst cover photos
I
I've
liked
ever
it.
seen.
That look is trash.
I thought y'all were being sarcastic.
Bro, they had
No.
Brent Venables' son on the cover.
Like, who?
Yeah.
What?
Who is
I don't
that?
even know but his name.
I don't even know buddy name, but it was in our group chat. They got Brent Venables' son up there.
Yeah, I can't.
That's
They don't even have
ugly
Wade
as crap.
Woodass or
Well, you can't have
what's his name?
everybody.
TJ. They ain't got none of Clemson
Bro,
good
they
players.
got-
up there.
What a crap is
They got-
Kirby Smart on the doggone cover?
Because he's won 2 open national championships. Why wouldn't they have him? What
I
kind
mean,
of comment is that, bro?
Kirby
Burn
flew
ball,
from
like,
Athens
what?
to take the picture and then flew back so that way he wouldn't miss a visit.
I'm
Got
cool
that
with
dog
that.
in him.
Like, you got Tebow and Johnny on the cover. I'm happy, bro. You got D.
I love
Stewie.
Debo.
D.
I mean, the
Like,
only fact that
South
it's
Carolina was
any,
actually represented.
I mean,
Yeah. Better than Venables' kid.
Well, you know they're gonna do. He probably
Venables
didn't
kid
care
on
to be
there.
on it again. He probably told him, "Nah, I'm good." Like, nonetheless, I don't understand the Venables kids thing. If he's actually somewhere on here,
Yeah, he's the
that doesn't
Clemson
make
jersey
sense to
back
me.
there.
Yeah, that's weird.
I like Stewie on there. That's pretty
But-
dope. But the cover's ugly. I'm standing on that. I'm standing on business. I don't care.
I thought it was cool.
They could have done some cool background with a bunch of people, but nah, they got them standing on some bleachers.
You want some Fortnite stuff? You want some confetti popping out your rear end?
They
That's
had them
cool. I get it.
walking out of the tunnel in the last game. I mean, that was pretty cool. They had them walking out of the tunnel in the last game. I mean, that was pretty cool. Have them standing on the bleachers.
Oh,
That's-
it's
that's
on
pretty
brand with the last game. What are you talking about, dog?
They
It's
could've done-
on brand.
You
It's-
cannot look at me right now and say they can't do something better than them standing on the bleachers.
This is on brand with last year. What do you want them jumping out of a plane? Like, what are you talking about? They're in a football stadium.
That was
You want
better
them at
than
the
them
50
standing on
line just
bleachers.
smiling? Like, dog. Cornball? They have like 30 people on this flipping cover.
That's the problem. There
Right.
ain't 30 people on the cover.
We got these three.
I'm happy with these two, but they don't need 30 people on the cover. Every other sports game has like 1 or 2 people on the cover max.
Yeah, and it's lame. Everyone does it. So let's just copy Madden because they've been so right over the last 5 years. No, they suck. Madden sucks. So let's just copy
Madden-
them.
Madden has a whole
2014.
NCAA.
NCAA. Ugh. Yeah, NCAA. Lord help us. But yeah,
They need to
That's
do
crazy.
penalties, bro. They need to fix some pass interference. That's what all I want. Them to call a dog on
Well,
pass interference
the
when I'm playing
refs-
somebody. They snatch my player to the ground.
That would
The
be nice,
refs-
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Would be
No,
glorious.
25 realistic. I've watched Ryan Williams play. Clearly, you haven't. Dude's a freak. That dude's a freak. Lord,
That's
have
Wasn't a
mercy.
freak. He wasn't a freak against South Carolina. That 36 yards looked nice.
Bing
Hey,
bong.
that's true. That's true. Hey,
Thank you.
hey, we'll talk a
you.
little NFL before we get off. We'll talk NFL for like 10 minutes. We'll cut at hour 30. But Panthers got Rico Dow.
Well, them Panthers, they're more than get Rico Dowdle. They've been moving. Them Panthers,
Panthers-
been moving.
They still gonna suck next year, but it's just nice seeing
I
an
wouldn't be-
old face,
I
an old
wouldn't-
Gamecock.
I wouldn't even say
Another
that.
Gamecock
Panthers
on the
have
Panthers.
reloaded their defense. That's what
Yeah,
their problem was. And
They're gonna be mid. All right, I'm a Panthers fan. I think I can say this all I want.
but you
I-
were
my
a
hope
reformed
is-
Panthers fan halfway
I'm-
through last football season.
I'm reformed. I've always followed him, like dog. Jesus.
Yeah, he about to
But-
take you out, ain't it?
Panthers, yeah, no, my hopes are still very low unless they can pull a star
They were
receiver.
just like that. In ball games, I'm just saying they're going to win about 6-7.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
They're not going to lose every football game. It's
I'm
going to
not
be an
saying they are.
improvement.
They're gonna make improvement.
I have a hot
We-
take. They got one of the best running back groups in the whole NFL. Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard.
I'd say it's top 10.
That is nasty.
I ain't giving it top 5, but I'll give it top 10. Shout out-
I'd put it top
since
5.
Mac-
I ain't gonna lie.
Since Mac ain't here, shout out the Broncos. They've been
Broncos.
Yo,
Okay.
they are going crazy.
They might
they've
win.
been
They
cooking. They've
they,
been going crazy. They've been going crazy. There's been a lot of movement. They've
they,
been going crazy. They've been going crazy. There's
that
been a
man-
lot of movement. DK and George Pickens in Pittsburgh is someone might die in the AFC North next year.
Mm.
That's scary. Something tells me, God, which team was it? Who got that old boy from the Vikings? Who was it again? I can't remember his name. He got a big bag. Old
JC
dude from the
Horn?
Vikings. No. The dude that played on the Vikings that just
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Sorry, I didn't hear Vikings. I had
I
zoned out
didn't
for a
either.
second.
We're gonna find out if Sam Darnold is actually like that or if Jay Jettis just propelled him.
Nah, Sam Darnold, he's pretty good. He just the system Carolina had under Mark Rule or whatever his name is didn't work for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback.
I ain't gonna dog on him yet.
Really good quarterback.
I ain't gonna dog on him yet.
Moves. They re-signed their long snapper.
That junk was crazy.
Re-signed their
DeMarcus
long snapper.
Lawrence went to Seattle.
And then said he was never going to win a Super
Oh.
Bowl in Dallas. That was hilarious.
Jesus. Yeah,
Oh,
poor
Debo. Debo up there in Washington now.
Debo. He's a little thick though. He been eating a little too many cupcakes from what I've heard per Twitter. So he gotta lose the cupcakes, but he's gonna be dangerous in Washington.
Debo got that bag. He said,
Washington gonna be competing deep in the playoffs next year. I'm gonna call that now.
oh yeah.
They making
got
a
some
Super
development.
Bowl run.
Mm.
As long as the Eagles don't stop them, because the Eagles ain't slowing down either.
Eagles lost a lot in free agency. I don't know if they're going to be the same team
Yeah,
next
I
year.
don't know what they were doing.
They
to be
lost
honest
like
with
8
you.
or 9 people that started. I'm pretty
Eagles-
sure.
But the Eagles also brought in a lot of people.
They only brought in three people.
I think
I saw
Eagles
I
are
saw a
gonna-
graphic on the other day. They lost like 6-7 people and they only gained like 3.
Well, you gotta check the names too. But I'm not saying they're not going to take a step back. They just won a Super Bowl. It's very hard to do it twice. You're at the top of the mountain. So
Same
maybe
one
we'll
that
go.
probably be
Maybe we'll go
Kansas City
to the.
again.
Maybe we'll go. No, I think Kansas City's dynasty is complete. I think that run is over.
hate Kansas City.
I think they'll still make it to the playoffs, but I don't think. I
They
think
always got
that's-
their reps in their back pocket.
Well, the NFL money ain't going to Kansas City, I don't think, anymore. To be honest. They just embarrassed the NFL.
I just want to see my Panthers win. Talk coming out of college just to
Well, Penix proved he's a dog in the NFL, I think. I mean, he's going to be a top-end guy if he gets the right pieces around him.
Penix is old
And
though.
they're bringing the right pieces. I think the Saints are still going to be a gutter team. I think
Spencer
they're in the
Rattler needs
last-
more help. I feel so bad for him.
Well,
Bro, from South
Spencer-
Carolina being bullied at offensive line, going to the Saints being bullied by their offensive line sucking.
I'm hoping he finds a
Spencer's good,
place somewhere. The thing is, though, like they're gonna end up drafting a QB either this year, next year, sooner or later, or bringing in a QB with a big
Saints is
name.
gonna be useless, which is gonna
So
suck.
I don't think Spencer Rattler's.
Unless he just has crazy
Mhm.
development and just shoots up and is like, hey, I'm number one guy now.
We'll see. We're gonna be cheering him on, obviously.
Oh yeah, I love Spence.
Austin, you got anything NFL wise?
No, not at
He's
all.
just depressed
I ain't got
Cowboys.
a lot.
I'm not even a full-time Cowboys fan anymore.
You might as well just move the bandwagon with Matt. Just be a Broncos fan.
I'm
You're
a
just-
I'm a I'm a
that ship is-
part-time NFL fan.
That Cowboys ship has sailed. You was just a fan because your daddy. Just Thomas.
I literally said that to somebody the other day. I don't remember who it
That
was.
ship has sailed.
Me and you
I was like,
talked about it in a previous podcast or a previous episode.
I grew
'Cause
up, and that's all I ever knew was Cowboys because of my pops. So I mean, I never really
Yeah, and
chose my own
And
team.
Barney will sit here and say the Cowboys, they're the best team since I spread.
I
The
mean,
best team since I spread.
they were when he was. Well,
You got to be able to.
I don't give a crap about the NFL. I don't give a crap about the NBA. I'm a hockey fan. That's
Our
what I can
official-
talk about.
Our official NHL representative.
That's what I can talk about. I can talk about my Canes.
Yeah, we'll get
Miko Rannon, you can kick rocks. Get up out of here. Don't like you anyway.
All right, wait, time out. Give our quick, and we're gonna close out the show. Since they're a Carolina team as well, we got to represent. Give us a little debrief on the Canes this season. They suck. They good. Making a run.
So this
No.
year was supposed to be a sucky downtrend year because we lost key names in free agency, and we started the season off like 20 something and like 5, which was
Starting
not
off right.
expected. We are currently right now I'm pretty sure second in the Metro. I think that's their division, and they're currently on a 5-game win streak after trading Miko Rantanen. He is a 100 points season player, one of the top guys in the league. They traded for him, big blockbuster trade about 6 weeks ago. And he came out and said he didn't want to be in Carolina. He didn't want to be in Carolina, so they traded him at the deadline after being an absolute bum for the 13 games he played with us, producing like 6 points in 13 games, which is terrible. And we traded him, got 2 first-round picks, 2 third-round picks, and very, very good prospect in what the crap's his name? Logan Stankoven from Dallas. He's very good. He's 21. He's a defenseman.
Oh,
He's
excuse me.
like that. But overall, Carolina's they're doing their thing. They're nasty. Aho's nasty. Jarvis is nasty. Svechky's doing Svechky things.
All right, sweet. That's
And
our.
I'm saying this for internet.
Yeah.
Jacob Slavin is the best defenseman in the whole NHL, and anybody that don't think that, kick rocks, you bums.
Nice.
Oh.
All right.
I'll stand on business on that. I don't even care.
rocks will need to be kicked. It sounds like.
All
Just
right.
because he
So
ain't a
that's our,
point scorer doesn't mean he's not the best defenseman in the league. Points
Bing
shouldn't
bang.
defense.
All right. So that's our
Oh.
NHL
I'll stand on that till
Cardiac-
I die.
Cardiac Canes breakdown.
Points
Good
shouldn't
deal.
define stats, and points
right.
shouldn't define.
Cardiac.
All right. Awesome. I think
Broke
Yeah,
that's
up
man. I
about
mean,
it.
listen.
Broke up a sweat
We
trying to talk
kinda-
about my NHL. That's
We
my thing
kinda-
right there.
Yeah.
I love
We
it.
kind of hit all Gamecock news that we could tonight.
Some of the biggest stuff.
Yeah, some of the bigger stuff. I mean, we probably more than likely left
I
out a
didn't
few
think they could
things.
make the NIT.
No, I mean,
I didn't think that
who
was
did?
possible.
but I mean, we'll probably play 1 or 2 games and then end up facing LSU and being out. So,
Who knows? I mean, they could go on a run. CMB will be like, hey,
or
I put this thing on my
Right.
back. CMB goes crazy.
yeah. I mean, listen, again, anybody and everybody's tuning in that may see the video, remember in Gamecock baseball, we miss you. We will see you soon. But
Football.
yeah, other than that, I mean, feel like it was a good show. Appreciate y'all boys. Appreciate anybody that did tune in that will view our things. Listen, give us a follow, share with your people, talk about it, like it, leave us a comment on stuff you want us to talk about. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments on YouTube. Share our Twitch link, share YouTube. Yeah, let us know how you feel. If there's something you want us to talk about on the next episode, let us know. We appreciate it. That's all y'all got. Love, peace, and hair grease. See y'all on the next. All y'all got. Love, peace, and hair grease. See y'all.